Dear students, once again welcome to my channel. Today I am going to crack one more MCQ. The MCQ is a novel drug is designed to selectively inhibit the funny current in the SA node. Which of the following physiological changes is most likely observed after administration? The option A is increased slope of phase 4 depolarization and increased heart rate. Option B is decreased duration of phase 0 and increased action potential amplitude. Option C is decreased slope of phase 4 depolarization and decreased heart rate. And fourth option is prolonged phase 3 repolarization and QT interval prolongation. So before going to the question proper, we have to know what is pacemaker potential. The pacemaker potential consists of three phases like phase 4, phase 0 and phase 3. This is different from the action potential of the cardiac muscle, and this is the pacemaker action potential which is present in the SA node. So the SA node, there are three phases in the pacemaker potential: phase 4, phase 0 and phase 3. And we have to know what is funny current, why it is called so. A slow inward depolarizing current activated during hyperpolarization is called as funny current. Most of the current or most of the old channels will open only during depolarization, but this type of channel will be activated during hyperpolarization. So it is called funny because it activates at negative potential unlike most depolarizing channels, and it is modulated by cyclic EMP, not by just voltage. So what is the ion channel behind it is also called as HCN channel, that is hyperpolarization activated cyclic nucleotide gated channel. Especially the type of HCN channel present in SA node is HCN4, and it carries mainly the sodium and to a lesser extent to the potassium. So this is designated as IF. So hereafter IF means this is the funny current which carries the sodium ion. So one more is it is opens at the minus 60 millivolt after the phase 3 repolarization of the pacemaker potential. I will explain in my further slides. With the basic concepts, from we can go to the electrical activity of the pacemaker cells. Here if you see, this is the initial phase, that is the phase 4 of the pacemaker potential, and if you notice that here is the minus 60 millivolt, we also know that at minus 60 millivolt there will be opening of funny current. So it is evident from here there is opening of funny current which causes the inward movement of the sodium ion. So at the middle of the phase 4, what will happen is the honey channels close and D-type calcium channels open, which will lead to inward movement of the calcium. So at minus 50 millivolt, the phase of depolarization starts, that is phase 0. It is caused by the T-type channels close and the L-type calcium channels open. So the depolarization wave is due to because of the inward calcium current. And this is the phase of repolarization, and this phase of repolarization is marked by the potassium channels opening and the closing of L-type calcium channel. So once the potassium channels opens, leads to the phase of repolarization. We always know that in the phase of repolarization and at the minus 60 millivolt, the funny channels will again open. So this is the potassium channels closing and funny channels opening. So now it is very clear what are funny currents and what are the channels which is involved in the movement of sodium ion causing the phase 4 of the pacemaker potential. So from this it is evident from phase 4, that is due to funny current, sodium ion is responsible for this phase and calcium is responsible for this phase 0 and potassium is responsible for this phase 3. And coming to the effect of autonomic input on activation of sympathetic nervous system, there will be increased cyclic AMP, which causes the increased funny current and it leads to the increased heart rate. When there is parasympathetic activation through M2 receptors, there will be decreased cyclic EMP and there will be decreased funny current, and which leads to decreased heart rate. So it is very clear from this, that is, the sympathetic activation will lead to increased heart rate and parasympathetic will lead to decrease the heart rate. So with all this fact, it is now easy to decide the answer. So here novel drug is designed to selectively inhibit the funny current. What is the physiological changes is most likely observed after administration. So we know funny current is going to act on only the phase 4. So we can easily rule out the option B and option D because it is 0 and 3 are there. So first we have to concentrate on the phase 4 and we'll go to the option A and C. In option A, there is increased slope of phase 4 depolarization and increased heart rate, and decreased slope of phase 4 depolarization and decreased heart rate. So we know from the previous slides that funny current inhibition will lead to decreased slope of phase 4 depolarization and decreased heart rate. So the answer is decreased slope of phase 4 depolarization and decreased heart rate. So a bonus tip from this slide is, now you have to think of maybe the drug which is used to inhibit the funny current alone. So the drug is ivabradine. So the action is it acts on the funny channel and inhibits it. So it is a selective funny current inhibitor. So what is the main use of this drug is, it is mainly used to lower the heart rate without decrease in contractility. So it is used in heart failure and angina. So this is one of the important point you have to keep in mind, that ivabradine is a drug which is used in heart failure. So it is specifically acting on the funny current. So it without decreasing the heart contractility, it lowers the heart rate, which is beneficial in the heart failure patient. And find it out, the hyperpolarization activated nucleotide channels are not located only in the SA node. There are other areas where these channels are located. If you find out the answer, please comment on the end of the video. All the best. Kindly subscribe for further videos. Thank you.